SpiceFM.co.ke and to Patane on the live, yeah, that's on Facebook and on YouTube, yeah. So right now, so fired up because I have a friend of mine in the building. She's called Gloria Chebet. It's not her first time over here, yeah. So Gloria, how you doing?
Fantastic.
You got to set up the phone, the live. You're looking amazing.
Asante.
Jeez.
Asante.
How was your day?
Dressing good is
Yeah.
kujiheshimu.
Exactly.
Kuheshimu watu.
And I like how the orange matches the studio.
I know it's giving.
Well planned.
It's giving.
So what are your plans for Christmas?
Work.
Yeah,
A bit
for
of
real?
it.
You're going to have to move closer to the mic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Does that help?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, fantastic. A bit of work, a bit of play, a bit of dance. That's important. But mostly just fully experiencing myself.
Yeah. Do you think Kenyans are excited about Christmas? For real?
I don't know. I think Kenyans are excited about the break. just to take time out. Just
I agree.
during the holiday.
I agree.
Yeah.
So tell folks what you do.
What do I do?
Yeah.
I am a human intelligence development expert, but today's conversation, we're going to talk about how important it is to learn what it truly looks like and to feel calm. And the angle through which Kev wanted me to talk about is from the nervous system point of view. But beyond this, the things that I do really are the things that really inspire me every single day to wake up, to make sure that I am fully honoring what it feels like to be human and making sure that as many people as possible can get to experience what that looks like.
Yeah.
I am driven by a philosophy, freedom to play. And I was telling a friend the other day that if you ever see a child alone in a playground, they mostly look very sad. They don't have a good time, regardless of how many nice, cute toys they have. But when you see that child with other kids in that playground, they're always very excited.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the only child in a playground. So my job is entirely to make sure that as many people can remember what it looks like to play through life. Because imagine kunja uso all through life. What is that? Umefura yako yote, umekasirika through life.
Yeah.
There's no joy, there's no pleasure, there's no excitement, there's only makasiriko, kila kitu inakukasirisha. I mean, there's no play when you're constantly in defense. So it's important for us to figure out what does it look like to activate play, and then to look at life as a playground, and then to cheze. And I can't do that by myself. I need other players in the playground.
Yeah, you like people, isn't it?
I love people. I mean, that's essentially who we are, right?
Yeah.
We are social beings, and we operate from a hive, whether we like it or not. And when there's one part in the system that is broken, the entire system is broken.
It's true.
So if I'm walking around and I'm seeing people really disgruntled, really sad, really hurt, really in pain, a part of me, while I'm peaceful and joyful and all of those, will be drawn towards I wish I could, I want to, I wish I could. And some situations it's hard to even know how to extend help because people can easily get reliant on constantly waiting for that help. So then isn't it easier to teach people what it looks like to embody what it looks like to help, so that you're not asking it, you're embodying it, you're activating it, you're being it. And then from that point, now we shift the entire experience of human experience from constantly waiting to creating. And that's my biggest desire, to create a platform where people can remember how to create instead of just consume and wait and wait and wait.
So first of all, I feel like these holidays are just about consuming.
I mean, the problem is that's the structure of how this thing has been done, right?
Yeah.
Consuming, and we forgot about sacred communion.
Right.
I was listening to this advert on YouTube that it's only in America where one day after Thanksgiving, people are kanyagaing each other in the malls trying to fight for a deal, the Good Friday and all of those, the Black Friday, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, jana tu ndo tumetoka hapa kumbayaing, loving on each other, and then the next day you're there kicking people on the door just to go grab a TV. So that's what humanity has been reduced to. Almost like cows going into a slaughterhouse, and we just keep on running straight into that slaughterhouse without recognizing that, we're actually going to the slaughterhouse.
So we've been programmed to actually continue wanting things. It's almost as if our happiness is outside of us.
Oh yeah, currently that's the way the system operates, right? That's the entire narrative around consumerism, around the the capitalism world we live in, around the experiences we've had as humans for the past couple of years. It's had its benefits. I mean, it's accelerated industrialization, it's accelerated growth, it's accelerated our ability to create things. That said, to what expense? And you see that a lot today. So many people are so disconnected from themselves, so disconnected from what it means to be human, so disconnected from community, so disconnected from truly connecting with themselves, that I could have all the money in the world, but then a part of me is so empty, and we keep thinking that the more things I can get, the more cuter babes, more handsome men, more beautiful kids in the best of schools, more cute cars and more money in my account is what will make me feel better. Ask those who've gotten it.
They're still in the same place.
They're still really struggling. No, it's even worse because you're constantly hyper-vigilant, because you're like, what if they find out how I got that money? What if somebody comes and steals from me? So now you have all these crazy-looking security systems in your entire life. There's no part of you that is truly free. I'm not saying all wealth is bad. I'm saying that the examples we have today of what wealth has been, there is no freedom that you see from those people. There is what we are told that we want to experience that they're experiencing, and there's something completely different about how they truly are experiencing themselves.
It's interesting you put it like that, because I was just a couple of weeks ago I was watching Jim Carrey, the actor. He was talking about he wishes, he's always wishing that people would actually experience fame, for them to realize that even with that fame, you're still not going to be happy.
Agreed.
You're still not going to live the ideal life that you perceive famous people actually live. It's fascinating, because even me personally, like, ever since I was young, I always wanted to be a radio presenter. But now that I'm here, I still don't feel like I... it's not it. It's not the ultimate, like, it's not the ultimate state of being. Say for example, like I still feel like there's something out there for me. And I guess also that's the perfect place to start this conversation, because when somebody hears your profile, the stuff that you do, nervous system regulation, when they're encountering that word for the first time, what does it actually mean? Nervous system regulation, trainer and coach.
Yes. I hear you. So before I even jump onto that, the comment on you, as a child, you've always wanted to be a radio presenter, but then you're still feeling like it's not it. If I was to jump in and give a comment on that, if you allow me, is perhaps the vehicle, the radio presenter, is not the problem. Perhaps it's the content through which you're expressing yourself, or the information that you're sharing that is not coherent, which now we get into the conversation with your true essence, that you speaking to people, meaning using your voice, is something that your heart has always known is important for you. The what that you get to use that voice for is what we are still trying to calibrate towards.
Wow, brilliant.
And the moment you figure out what that looks like, then your voice becomes a tool for shifting people's consciousness, for awakening people, for activating people, for healing people. And from that point, there's no better satisfaction that you would feel than when you notice that your work is directly contributing towards the shift on consciousness in the collective.
I like how you put it, because initially, and how this industry is actually based and set up, it's very competitive. You're always trying to trend, because that's what actually gets you paid.
Agreed. Agreed.
But you're telling me that I actually have to have a shift with the way I'm going about communicating and using my voice. I love that.
Because your voice is powerful. That's something that nothing can replicate. It's entirely you. And from that point, figuring out how to best position that voice is really what your soul is looking forward to. So no, it's not out there. It's right here looking at me. And that brings me to the conversation. What is nervous system, and what is nervous system coaching or regulating? Because I don't particularly say I'm a nervous system coach, but I'm really big on nervous system work. And I am currently now putting together what would be the Human Intelligence Development Program.
There you go.
And I really would love to have a conversation on that, but that is not the topic for the day. The topic for the day is nervous system. Now, what is the nervous system? See, I'll use an analogy of a car. In a car, there is a system that allows the car to move. The accelerator, which you step on the fuel, the motor is moving as fast as it needs to. And then there is a system also that allows the car to stop, to brake, and to slow down and to come to a halt. Now, the entire mechanism of what runs that function, the acceleration and the brakes in the body, that is what is called the nervous system. Okay, so it's a function of our capacity to be able to activate, meaning to move, to act, to process life, to be ready whenever there's any danger that can be perceived or real danger, to be able to actually respond to that, and to be able to recognize your ability to act, to do the thing that you need to do, to be able to move your body, things like that, right? So that is activated by a part of the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, called the sympathetic nervous system. It's broken into two branches, the same way brakes and accelerator, two different branches of the motor system of a car. And then the parasympathetic state on the other end is the part of the body that tells you, hey, relax, let's make merry, let's digest what we've been eating. And by digestion, I'm not just talking about food, I'm also talking about emotions. I'm talking about processing life. Let's sit down, let's understand what's going on, let's consume, let's break down what we're doing, let's sleep, let's make love, all of those things. Now, the sympathetic state is your protective system for the external world. It activates to keep you safe in the external world. The parasympathetic system activates to keep you safe in the internal world. Now, the problem is, because of the way I always say that the game has been rigged. Because why do I say this? Because nobody teaches us these things. And no, I won't put the blame on the older generations, because nobody taught them either.
I agree.
So you can teach what you don't know.
Yeah.
Impossible to do that, and including in the medical space, to be honest, because there's a lot of conversation around, oh, doctors should have taught us this, doctors should have taught us that. Your mother didn't teach you. How do you expect their mother to have known? And yes, is the system geared towards putting us in certain positions that we wouldn't have certain information? I'm not the one to talk about that today, because I'm here to talk about ways in which you can move forward instead of constantly looking for ways to put a blame, because any single time we go as a society, as an individual, as a community, to pointing fingers, is because we're operating from a dysregulated state of the nervous system. So what is dysregulation?
Yeah.
So dysregulation is when you're constantly stepping on the ngata, on the mafuta, until the tires are smoking up and you're not stopping that. And then at the same time, you're stepping on the brakes.
Yeah.
So you're stepping on the accelerator and you're stepping on the brakes at the same time. That car is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
The tires are burnt, the engine is burnt, the system is burnt, but you're still busy stepping on both of them at the same time. It's massive chaos. So that's what dysregulation looks like, is when there's lack of coherence. I know these are big words. What is coherence? Coherence is when your entire system is working in harmony.
Right.
Is when your mind, your body and your heart ziko mbele iko sawa yote, all of it is working in coherence. For whatever reason, the car analogy system is coming in hot.
It's making sense.
It's the best way to make it make sense, right? So if mbele iko sawa, it means your field is operating from coherence. So it means that your mind is clear.
Yeah.
It means that your body, your nervous system, is moving beautifully between unakanyagangata to accelerate the car and stopping because you've gotten to a corner where there's a car in front of you.
Right.
So both of these are going together at the same time. So you're either stepping on the ngata or stepping on the brakes, depending on the need along the road. So you're not only on one or on the other, you're on both, but when the need arises. So the challenge is when we wake up and unakanyagangata kabla uende kulala, you're constantly on a high and there's no time you're coming down. Uko kwa kitanda una scroll, unageuka, una turn, unatafuta usingizi, ni saa 9 shit, I have a 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I use color language a lot when I'm excited.
So good.
So and now it becomes very, very difficult to slow your system down to such a point you'll go on leave to tender holidays like we're doing right now, but uko huko umekasirikia mathe, umekasirikia sis, wife anakusinya juu alikwambia ukuje na manyanya ukasahau, alafu sasa amekupea an earful, you won't stop. I was listening to another guy yesterday when I was walking somewhere, unafaa kukaa kujua kama mwanamke. I'm like, And the truth is, it's impossible to be able to know how to really become if that is not a state.
Because some people imagine women are very stoic.
Yes.
Like you can always handle your emotions regardless of the pressure out here.
Apparently, you should be able to figure that stuff out. Apparently, it's written on your faces that you should come unajua ku manage your emotions. I mean, that's true. If we were given the tools from the get-go, in fact, I was telling a psychologist at an event over the weekend that this entire industry, I mean, please forgive me, any psychologists out there, was created to solve a problem that somehow doesn't seem to have a solution, a long-term solution. It's created in a way that we get dependable on that system.
Oh, interesting.
But the truth is, if we were given the right tools from the get-go, we would not have that industry. So it wouldn't have existed.
It's true. So do you think there's permanent solutions to these things, to all these problems that we go through? For example, you said there's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic.
Yes.
The parasympathetic, can you actually find permanent solutions to them?
I think you can find coherence, you can find balance, you can find a state called homeostasis. And that can be achieved by anybody.
Wow, I'm thinking it's a very complex solution, but I know you're going to say it's simple. Now, my question to you is,
ask me.
How do you know that, okay, fine, I'm out here trying to regulate my nervous system, but at the same, what's the difference between actually regulating your nervous system in a positive way, but at the same time you're suppressing your emotions? Because while you're speaking, I'm thinking, isn't it a good thing to sometimes actually express your emotions, regardless of whether they're kidogo, perceived to be toxic? Like, come on, utakulia, cry. You know what I mean? Yeah? As opposed to trying to suppress all these emotions.
Yes.
So what's the difference? How does it look like?
Let me tell you. I use this word. Acha nikwambie minor. The truth is, if you're operating from a regulated nervous system, you will express your emotions.
Oh, interesting.
Really boldly.
Okay.
And the truth is, all these emotions that we deem as negative, all of them, anger, sadness, sorrow, grief, you name it, the list is ongoing. All of them, they are perceived as negative because we've assigned that to be negative.
Correct.
But they are not. Sacred anger is powerful. Sacred rage is powerful.
Sacred anger, I like that.
Sacred grief is powerful.
Yes.
But when it's operating from an ego-operated timeline consciousness, meaning you're coming from separation state, then instead of using those emotions towards expanding, elevating yourself, you use them to destroy, distract, and hurt yourself. And that's when now even speaking, sharing, expressing those emotions can be perceived as bad. And we come from a timeline where expressing emotions was when you fala unaliaje kwa ofisi and things
soft,
like that. When I'm soft, when you see a guy trying to express the emotions, you're a sissy, things like that. And that's really, really terrible because that is shaming. And shame is a really terrible state to be in because that's social construct of where we get to operate. Shame is a very social emotion. It requires you to put me in that position to express something in that particular state for me to feel that way. Otherwise, if I'm coming from a regulated place, you'll express to me something that I would have perceived as shameful, and then I'd be like, you know what? I see that. And I understand. I might not truly comprehend what that means, but I understand that it was important to you to behave that way in that particular moment.
So there's somebody listening to you right now, bouncing off that word, dysregulated.
Yes.
What are the signs that they can look out for to tell that either maybe a friend of theirs, the family member, ama even themselves, they're actually in a state of dysregulation?
Okay.
They're dysregulated versus being stressed. Yeah.
Oh, so first of all, just stress in on itself is the biggest cause of dysregulation. Stress.
Okay.
And let me add a caveat to that. Excess stress. Because there's a level of stress that is healthy to have in your system. The same way gym will stress your muscles to grow and all of those things. But living in a state of continuous stress, that will automatically create dysregulation. So what does that look like? It looks like your inability to handle conversations. It looks like constantly cutting out people. Mtu akikwambia kitu umekasirika umemcut out. It looks like your inability to actually receive feedback. It looks like your inability to actually sit and experience your emotions. And most of us are from that particular state. It looks like health issues. any form of health issues, from headache to cancer to whatever it is. That's a state of dysregulation. It looks like fearing things constant. Oh, naogopa cockroaches to naogopa, I fear of the unknown, whatever it is, that is dysregulation. It looks like any form of habit to soothe. It can be eating too much. It can be drinking too much. It can be working too much. And there's a lot of people, especially guys who are a bit self-aware, who are operating from deep functional freeze state, functional states where they are dysregulated because they use their jobs to escape themselves.
I can imagine. Yes,
Yeah,
I believe that.
Yes, to escape themselves, to escape reality, to perform. It looks like people pleasing. It looks like kissing ass. It looks like constantly being, you wanting the whole world to know how you're sad and how you're hurt and know how you're really going through it, but not doing anything about it. It looks like going to the streets and fighting and screaming and tearing things apart without actually taking accountability for your actions. It looks like not taking accountability for your actions. It looks like ignoring things that are important to you. It looks like there's so many examples as to how dysregulated state appears.
Let's talk about the solutions
the
now.
way we operate through life right now. I think it was what Nime mentioned. It looks like kiberiti, I have anger issues. It looks like I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert. I don't move beyond these boxes I've been put in.
Gloria, you know, while you're speaking, you put all of us in that box. We fit that category very well.
Sadly.
Some of the things, those are some of the triggers that we have to be in that state of dysregulation. Now, I'm thinking, Kenya right now as it is, I've heard that most of us are in a state of apathy. There's so much chaos.
So much.
Yeah, the future is not certain. When you go to work, it's very insecure. No one knows how their future looks like. Relationships, you know what I mean? Alafu pia, the economy is kidogo in a volatile state. You know, relationships are not so, solid these days. People are not committing as such. Like you said, it's pretty much very chaotic. But at the same time, we're talking about the ability to intentionally stay chill, to calm down. So you're saying this is actually a skill people can learn.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's not just a mood.
It is.
Let's talk about that, because I'm here trying to find the solutions, and I gotta be real. You see all those things that you're talking about, being in a state of being dysregulated. Let me tell you, this thing has hit me so hard. Yani Paka, I was so excited about having you here. And I'm trying to make sense of my life, especially now that I'm getting to fourth floor.
Yes.
I feel like if I don't get a hold of my life and my body, I might not be here for too long, right? Because there are too many triggers. A lot of stressful things, and I can personally feel the effects on my body. So for people who relate to what I'm saying and to what you've just said, how can we intentionally stay chill, to calm down, as opposed to just being, being on the floor and just and thinking being relaxed and calm is just a mood, so how do we go about it?
I'd like to say that I wasn't always in this state. It's something I learned as well, but I didn't learn because somebody offered me the information and I was like, oh really, I can learn it. At the time when I learned it, it was because I was coughing blood. I was about to die.
What?
Thanks to COVID. But I'm like, thanks to COVID, because if I didn't experience what COVID sent me down, I wouldn't be speaking to you today, because Kev, I tried to take myself out. I was absolutely done with this crap of what was life at the time. I didn't see the value in it. I thought I was wasting oxygen. I thought it was a waste of time. I was like, this is absolute nonsense. Somebody make it make sense. Why the hell we are alive? In nonsense. I mean, life ilikuwa kuchekwa hivi. So I get it completely, because I've walked down that path first. I was physically dysregulated, meaning health yangu kwacho, mentally in the dustbin. Physically, I had patience like this, zero. Unajua, when they say that katini ka handbag and then you check inside, zero facts to give. I was hata sikuwa na bag, done. So I'm not speaking from a place of atuya naongea ni kama ajaishi life. No, I've been down this path. So I know so deeply that many of us are down that path. Now, there are simple things that we can do to be able to get ourselves out of that path. But simple, not easy, because it demands devotion. I'm not saying discipline. I'm saying devotion. And I'm using those words very, very carefully because discipline is an aspect of devotion. Now, when it comes to regulating your nervous system, there's something called safety. It's a state of being safe. So that is your ability to activate a sense of stability. And when I say stability, I'm not saying that you have millions in the bank and now you're stable and things are really working so well for you. No, that's external. That's an external source of your regulation, but which will always break down and show you things in your face, okay? So there's S under safe is stability. A is awareness. And then B, F. F is frameworks. And then E is capacity to expand. Because it's one thing to be regulated, it's another thing to stay regulated, and another thing to expand from regulation. Now, to regulate, there are 3 key aspects of you that needs to be in alignment. But we'll start from the first one. So the body has to be coherent. The mind has to be clear, meaning your level of consciousness has to expand. So knowledge is paramount in this level. And then your heart has to be open. You cannot maintain a state of coherence from a closed heart. It's impossible. But then at the same time, because we are a complete cycle, none of those systems operates independently, which is why you'll probably do a lot of mental health, mental expansion, mental shift in identity work and things like that. Yes, it works until you get a proper hit in your life. Mtu alikufa, something hard hits you, and then you back to the things that you used to do to soothe yourself. Smoking, drinking, sleeping around, partying all night, because then your system is back to shock. Now, building a nervous system capacity for regulation requires that you actually get to work with the body. That's the foundation. Why? Look at it this way. Working with the body is working with your brainstem. The brain has 3 regions. The last bit ukukunyuma inaitwa brainstem. Then the mid part is the limbic system, which is the emotional brain, which is the seat of the autonomic nervous system as well. And then the front part of the brain, which is what is highly developed in humans, is now the neocortex. The front office is the ability to process, see life, be present, stay calm. It is centered here. Do you know how much time we spend here in the front office as humans right now? 5% of our time.
That's less, isn't it?
That's your entire day. 5% of your time is when you're conscious.
What?
5% of your experience of a day is when you're conscious, is when you're present. And that would look like when you're peeing, when you're pooping, when you're doing a task that requires you to actually small use your brain, because the rest, your system is repeating things that it knows. Either la kwa nini hata Nicole na nilijua tu. So your brain goes into the limbic system, which is where we spend a lot of our times.
I agree.
And then you end up you're repeating stories. You're repeating the same nonsense you've been thinking about since you were a child. Coming up in different versions. Mdosi aliniangalia saa zile vibaya. No, and then you'll tell everybody in the office that same story. Do you know how long emotions stay in your body when you get angry? 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. Do you know how long your brain will expand that emotion? Months, days, years. Because your brain will go and look for similar patterns in your past that has the same pathways as that emotion. Na nilijua tu ndio maana madhe hata nikiwa mtoto nilikuwa nafanyanga hivi, and if it wasn't for, and I knew my dad never liked me. Unaona when so we go back, we spend 95% of our time.
So how do we switch that?
By learning to be present, and that's activating calm. And to activate calm, it means we activate that state of being safe in the body.
Right.
Now, how do we do that? So there are a couple of ways we can do that. I'd put this in like 3 different ways. There's the far out ways that are high impact, but also high time consuming. There is the mid bit of exercises that you can do that are high impact. All of them are high impact, but then also less time consuming. And then there's the far closest in that are high impact, and then also in time, very kidogo. We can do a quick practice together.
I mean, why not? Am I going to have to move from this seat?
No, just sit straight, and then your feet firmly on the ground.
They are?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
good. Just
Yes.
relax your body. So, what you're going to do first,
Yes.
I want you to, in your mind, just while looking at me, you can close your eyes, focus on the pressure between your seat and your bummies. Can you notice that?
Yes.
And then notice the contact between the outfit you're wearing and your skin, and at the same time notice the parts of your skin that are exposed to air.
Wow.
Do you see the difference? Now notice your big toe. Can you pay attention to your big toe? Notice the tip top of your head. And then notice the in and outflow of air into your system.
I'm with you.
Yes, and then just pay attention to your heart center. You might feel your heartbeat, you might not, it's fine.
I can.
Good. Pay attention to that. And then pay attention to the back of your neck where your spine connects to your head. Do you feel that?
Yes.
And then if you can, just even close your eyes and don't respond to me as we do the rest. Now pay attention to your shoulders and allow them just to drop a bit. Good. Can you try to drop them like 5% more? Good. Try to relax your tummy. Maybe you've covered your tummy and your seat muscles. Allow them to drop and allow your tummy to bulge out. Relax. Now pay attention to the left part of your brain and then shift it to the right side of your brain. And then pay attention to the right knee, to the right elbow, to the front of your brain and the back of your brain. And then pay attention to air again coming in. Notice the cold air and notice exactly which part of your nose you feel that cold air and which part of your nose you feel the warm air as it comes out. And notice even the way breath teaches us, it doesn't hold on to anything. It doesn't hold on to the inhale or the exhale. It just flows. Just be there for a second more. And then try slow your breath 1% more.
All right.
How are you feeling?
Very present.
How are you feeling in your mind?
I feel very calm.
Right?
That was very meditative. That was.
It is.
It's almost as if nothing else existed around me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what you just did, you've paid attention to yourself.
That was
Most of the
beautiful.
time, our attention is on everything else but ourselves. So there are very many cute little experiences out there about nervous system regulation. But the one that I always will bank on is your breath. Now let's play a bit with breath a bit now. Now close your eyes as well, because the more you close your eyes, the less stimulation you get from the outside world and your focus goes inside. Now I want you to count your breath to 4 and then count again to 4 as you breathe out. And then inhaling for count to 4. Exhale for count to 4. Now, one of the most powerful tools for activating the parasympathetic nervous state is extended exhales. So let's try and do that. So now, to be able to do that, I want you to imagine as if breath is coming in through the base of your throat. So it will sound like an ocean making a sound. So it will sound like... And then exhale in that state the longest you can. Inhaling again. Inhaling from that point as if the base of your nose, and then exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhale. Now you can open your eyes, but do the breathing as well, because I need to give you tools that you can use even while you're in a meeting, right? So inhale, just look at me. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep on inhaling. Exhale. Does it feel weird to do that while you're in a meeting, while having conversation with people?
No, it doesn't feel weird.
No.
Yeah. But it actually feels like I'm in my natural state.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But there are other tools that you can do. Tapping, people know about that, but there's one tapping. So you tap very specific areas of your body. Mostly it's the temple, is the space between your eyebrows, the temple, underneath the eyes, underneath the nose, underneath the lip, in your collarbones, in your chest, and other carotid points, under the points, the base of your hands, upper or pinky. Those are places you can tap. But there's also another one called the gorilla thumping. You've seen this. Gorillas always doing this. That's a very important tool to activate something called the thymus. The thymus gland is located at the heart center, which naturally closes from when we turn into puberty. And activating it is paramount for healthy heart health.
So what I want us to do is take a short break. And then we come back and continue with this conversation.
All right.
That was beautiful. Gloria Chebet is here with me. Guys, we're talking how to train your nervous system to stop overthinking and actually start living. Remember, she's a human intelligence development trainer and coach, and I hope you're loving this conversation. Right now, soul to soul, Jazzy's Groove. Twendikazi, good evening.
What is sauce?